What's up, guys? Nethervvoid here with more DungeCraft Season 4. This is episode 42. We're going to be doing power expansion today, but I drained my latest quarry, as you can see, the one that was right above that volcano. And just coming around, getting these diamonds is a really good way to get lots of extra diamonds. Especially if you have that fortune pick, as you can see. One block right there got me, oh, there's more. Got me 3 more. Now, diamonds sometimes will do that in a kind of a corner pattern, so don't let them troll you. I always break all the blocks nearby because you never know when they're going to troll you like that. So let's go get these. Also, probably in episode 43 or 44, I'll be getting an upgrade to what I've been doing here. Or I'll be doing something I really wanted to do earlier in the series, but haven't gotten to. That's going to allow me to get those quartz and stuff. But that's going to have to wait. So I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Just wanted to show you that this is what I'm doing. I actually got a lot of diamonds off this quarry. I can't even remember how many I got, but I went up to like, I want to say, I don't know, like 70 or 80 or something? Something like that. Something really high. Maybe even higher. I can't remember. So is that it? Is that all of them? Well, I like to get these emeralds too. Never really seen emerald. Ooh, I need gold bad. So this would be good to get to. Never really seen emeralds, so I think they just spawn in the mountainy areas, right? Isn't it? What are we in right now? We're in. Wow, there goes a cop. Hopefully you can't hear that. Forest. Huh. Okay, I thought it was only. I thought they were only in the mountainy zones or whatever, the vanilla mountain zones. All right, here we go. Let's see if we can get 2 off that. Yes. Nice. 7 emeralds. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's get back to what we're going to do. I'll meet you back at base. We will start upgrading my, what's that called? Not pulse. It's, oh god, it's not the steam generator. It's my magmatic engines that are supposed to be kind of a burst system. That's what it's called, burst. So anyway, I'll see you back at base. Hold on a second, guys. And I lied. There's the reason I lied. We're going to have to take pretty much a whole episode to do some more advanced crafting, because now that I've used up all my machines on these automated lines right here, they are not available to just make random stuff that I need, like invar ingots. In trying to make some of the automation off camera, I need an induction smelter, which requires invar ingots, which, if you recall, to make this blend, you have to have iron dust and pulverized ferrous, and it's like a big pain in the butt. So to do this, I'm going to need to make some more automation here, and so we're going to be doing that in this episode. Sorry if you thought you were going to see something cool. Well, actually, you're going to see something cool. It's probably actually cooler than you were going to see. So let's start with a pulverizer. Boom. Oh, I love that. I so love it. Love it, love, 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 love it. Okay, so we're going to dig under here. People are already messing with me. I am busy recording, and they're messing with me. All right, so let's get this guy hooked up. But first, let's get a furnace, because this is a 2-part process, isn't it? So there we go. We're also going to need some patterns. Let's see, pattern, hopefully, yeah, good. We have a good amount because our bees are not keeping up. I do have a second demonic line forming right now to help out that first guy who's severely overworked. Let's start crafting up. Let's see, some dust, right? Let's go iron. So we're going to go something like this because we don't have any dust. And ferrous. We're going to have to make that dust first for this to work. So let's go like something like this. This is what I did before off camera, because if you can see in this project chest, I actually started making a secondary line for that burst system, but I need too many more things. Like I need to make a bunch of redstone energy cells, and I need conduits and all this stuff that really just requires a lot of open machinery ready to do whatever I feel like doing. So instead, I figure I'll teach this thing. You know, why? It's kind of like when you're doing IT. It's definitely worth it to spend like twice as much time to build a template so you don't have to spend as much time the next 20 times. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. So let's see. We're also going to need a couple of pieces of ore here, or ingots, 1 each, because we need to teach it, just like we did with the assembler. We need to teach it how to do crafting that actually requires a machine. So there we go. We're all set for these 2 at least. And while we're here, we can also teach it in. Can we teach it in invar blend? Well, we can. Let's see. I know I have one invar ingot at least. Oh, cool, because, oh no, we're going to have to use that. Well, we're going to have to teach it some, well, I know how we can do this. We'll do this iron. Yeah, here's how we'll do it. Okay, so let's encode this. We're going to say 1 iron ore gets you 1 iron dust. So that's one of them we need. And then we say 1 ferrous bar, so it wasn't iron ore, it's iron bar, gets you 1 ferrous dust. So we've got those two encoded. Now what we can do is turn the second iron ingot into another dust like this. Because remember, you have to actually kind of craft this. Oh, crap! Oh, damn it. Oh, well, let's do it again. We have to turn off the configuration. Wish there was like a button where you could like turn off configuration, like ignore configuration for 10 minutes or something. Alright, let's turn this off again. Let's put this guy in. This time we can actually collect what it's making instead of it automatically smelting it. So that's one of the problems with teaching this thing to smelt all ores that are coming in. You can teach it to just kind of make bars as you go. The problem is you have to wait for them at that point. Oh, I didn't need to. Oh well, whatever. And I really don't want to do that. Okay, let's... Oh, it already did it. All right, because that's actually a crafting recipe. Right? That's not something you need a machine for. Okay, so let's pull that out. And... I don't know. Let's put it right there for now. We're going to put that in here anyway. Let's put it here. Is that what that is? Electrum blend? Yeah, cool. Okay. So... that's gonna make us some electric blend. Sorry, just got a big piece of pepper in my mouth somehow. Had some spaghetti, and apparently there was a nice big fat piece of black pepper in there. So this thing is only gonna have an in and an out in the top because it's gonna be hooked up to an interface. I think this is how this is gonna work. Let's get 2 interfaces. Let's get 2 of these. So I don't think that good. It doesn't consume any of the all-important glowstone. I don't know if these will connect. I think it will, but I'm not really sure. So we also don't want this going anywhere. We want the system to do all this work. We just want a connection in the top. So we also don't care about redstone and all that crap. Let's turn that off. So let's hook these up now. There we go. This is a pretty easy thing. I think this should be pretty simple. 1 pulverized iron with 1 iron ingot. Let's see. Is this what I want? Yeah, okay, so that I just taught it. Okay, so actually you're going to teach it both, right? Yeah, boom. Okay, so now we can actually make the invar dust. Right? Well, we can make those 2 dusts. Those iron and ferrous dusts. It knows how to make invar dust. So if I say invar... craft invar dust, let's say craft 3 dusts, it should go right into here and start doing it. Oh, that's not cool. Why didn't it put it in the top, in that thing? Well, that's odd. That's not gonna work. Not gonna work here anyway. I think that might work actually. Let's do it like that. Let's see. Let's put this back. We don't need that. Let's say invar dust. Just 1 is fine. Perfect. Perfect. There we go. Now do 1 more, please. Oh, I love you, man. It didn't pull it out. That sucks. Let's see. How are we going to do this? Kind of thought it was like that, but it puts it here then. I don't like that. Do I need 2 of them? Huh. It never pulls it back into the system. I wonder if it's waiting on it now. It is. Interesting. That's really interesting. It can't pull it out, but it's in here. Export config. Well, let me figure this out real quick. I just kind of thought it would work, so hold on a second. Alright, I figured it out. Too bad we burned up some camera time doing it. We need 2 interfaces. That's because, for some reason, you have to mark it as top, where the recipe piece comes in and drops in the bar. If you don't, it drops it here. If you mark this as orange, even if you don't have an interface facing there, it won't drop it into here. So I don't know what the problem is, but if you drop it on top, it goes here. So what we're going to do is we have it dropped in on the top, and then we have interface out the back, and as you can see, I've turned the machine, and this interface is just empty. There's really nothing on it. You could use one of these export or import buses. It would be just fine. I'm using an interface. Probably I could just use one of those import buses. Oh well, it's fine the way it is. So now that I have invar blend, I should be able to tell it make a recipe so that one of these invar blends makes an invar ingot, and then, you know, that's actually a recipe. Cool beans, great, everything's groovy. And what I'm going to tell it is, actually, I don't need to tell it that. Or actually, yeah, I do. I do need to tell it that. I mean, really what I could say is, for this machine, any pulverized invar just comes in this machine. I could say that. I'm not sure it would know it was done crafting, so let's just do another couple interfaces. Let's do 2 of those. That way I can just train it, and I know for sure that it knows what it's doing. So we're going to put one here, and again here. The reason I don't put this in the back is because it would clog up this space. So let's turn this machine just like we did the previous one here. There we go. Configure it. It's going to go out the back and in the top here. And then we're going to tell this guy, okay, you're the one that makes the ingot with the thingamajigger. Yeah, that's it. With the blend here. All right, we're going to cover this in because this should give us the invar ingots that we require. Okay, so let's say we want some invar ingots. Let's craft. Well, since we already have a lot of dust, let's just craft one of those. What we should see is this sucker should start working, and he is. It should pull the dust out. It's going to blend it up inside the server, and then it's going to dump it right here. We should see the ingots come out and get popped right back in the system. And we'll just go check because it didn't show us. There it is, bam. So this sucker makes invar ingots for us now. Since I screwed up, let's actually make the rest of them. We don't want to craft a whole bunch of these. It's kind of pointless. Okay, so we've got tons of ingots coming in now. Now I can actually tell it the recipe for this thing, which I don't really need to tell it the recipe for. I really just wanted it to know how to make invar ingots. So let's get this induction smelter here. We need a bucket, machine frame, and reception coil here. So let's get bucket, because I'm really not, this is really the only second one I've ever made. There's really no reason to teach it this. Machine frame, and we want, what was it, machine reception? I think, yeah, it was reception coil. We already have one. So we also need invar, and we only need 2 of those, and then we need copper, right, 2 of these. That should be plenty. What we're going to do with this is we're going to teach this system how to make electrum ingots, and that is something I definitely use all the time. It's used in conduits, power conduits. It's really what I want it for, and because I need to make some more of those. And I also need to be able to teach this thing liquidux. So let's look at the recipe for liquidux here. See if I need to teach it anything else kind of crazy. I don't think I do. Yeah, it knows copper and it knows hardened glass, so liquidux should be pretty simple. Let's see how many I have before I craft some. Oh, not that. We have 13. Let's craft up some more of those. But to do that, let's get some hardened glass. Let's teach it the recipe real quick. And what was it? Copper, I think. I think we have enough copper ingots. I'm not positive on that. Har har. Okay, so copper, hardened glass. I've already taught it how to make hardened glass, so if it starts to get low, it should have no problems. We just need to stick this in the server. Let's stick it, I don't know, here, I guess. Cool. Now I should be able to request liquidux. It shouldn't be a big deal. Let's craft, I don't know, 20 of those. Boom, it's already done. So liquidux is very simple because it doesn't have to be filled with any kind of weird substance or anything. So we're going to teach this thing. I'm not even sure it'll fit right here. Is it making more? Oh, it resupplied itself. Cool. Okay. I don't want to put it there because it might be a double stacker. I think it's going to be a double stacker, right? Because like with the previous one, let's see. No, I only need 2 kinds of ingots and I get the ingot back out. So this should be a single stack. But The problem will be that the problem really is going to be I need a magma crucible. I'm going to dump crap in the magma crucible. It's going to move it over to the liquid transposer, and it's going to transpose that into a cell or something. So that is where I'm going to have issues. It's kind of like when you craft a continuum transfunctioner. It's very tricky. So that actually might happen somewhere else. But let's just put this here. It doesn't need to be in the same location as the other guy does it. Alright, so let's start digging. This is actually not a big deal. Let's just use this as an interface, so I don't see this as being really difficult. This is actually going to be really simple compared to the next process, which is filling up items with some kind of liquid, like liquid redstone or liquid ender pearl or something. So this thing is going to be dedicated to making anything I need, where I need to dump 2 different kinds of metals in here. So that's going to be the issue, is I bet you I can't pull out of the same thing I dump into. That's why this is going to be, yeah. Yeah, this can't go here. It's going to have its own special branch. I should have done that with the other processor too, really, but because I don't like it up in front. I might move that whole thing. This is a single line, and this is kind of a single one too. I mean, it can be a double one. It doesn't really get in the way of anything, but I don't really like it there. Oh, well, let's do it anyway. Because, you know, we're like that. Actually, we could put it right there. Nah, it wouldn't look cool. Okay, so, boom, dump that sucker. Get it hooked up with some power. Fill this back in. Actually, this is a great line to put all this kind of stuff. We're going to have to actually change that out, aren't we? So, interface. 2 more of those bad boys. So lucky I have the autocrafting, or this would be a real big pain in the butt. Even without it, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but whatever. Alright, let's flip this guy around so it doesn't know what's happening. We also want to get, I think it's going to be gold and silver makes that, right? Let's see. What's that called? Let's just do conduit. Conduit. Electrum ingot, that's right. Electrum blend, which is pulverized silver and gold. Or you can just do it with bars, I thought. Thought you could do it with bars. Gold and silver, I think you drop it right into the... Wait a minute, I know you can do it like that. Actually, we could just use this. We just made this already. We like made this exact thing. We don't even need this. Let's just get rid of this. Normally, I would put that... You can put gold and silver in this thing, and watch, we'll do it real quick, because it's not hooked up to anything. Let's turn all this stuff off, just to make sure... But I'm going to show you that you can do it in here. I'm pretty sure you can. This is really just to see if I can do this. Let's get gold and silver. We don't need this guy anymore. Alright, gold. So glad we have tons of that. I haven't taught it how to make nuggets, huh? I don't know if I should, if you know what I mean. It's kind of gross. Anyway, so I think you can just do this. Yep, I knew you could. Technically, that's a faster way to do it. But I also need another machine to do it, even though I already created the machine. I don't know. It doesn't seem as good to me. Let's do it the old-fashioned way. So part of the reason someone did this is because it was kind of a pain once you had bars. Like, you couldn't go back to dust for a while, if I remember correctly. Tell me if this is wrong. And so you had to kind of do this whole... You had to remember to keep some ore so you can get some dust. So let's go with gold bar here. We got to teach it this whole thing over again. I'm going to do that off camera real quick. You've already seen it. So I'm going to set up electrum ingots, and then I'll show you how I did it, and we'll move on to the next piece, since we're really almost at the end of this video, and I want to show you the liquid part. Hold on. Okay, so we're back, and basically I taught this thing just like I did with the Invar. It's really just a mix of 2 metals, so gold and silver dust here. To do that, we're going to need ingots, right? 1 ingot for 1 dust. And then there's a crafting recipe I put in the server to say 1 gold dust, 1 silver dust equals 2 electrum dust, and then pass the electrum dust here into the furnace to get electrum ingots. So that's pretty simple. That's pretty Invar and electrum set up the same way. So here's another system right here. I thought I was going to be able to get away with not having to have an auto crafting system for ender pearls, but I'm going to need one. This is another great thing that the interface can do. So let's put, I don't know, let's put that here, and what we can do, I've already set this thing up to craft ender pearls, and made some minium stones and put them. There's a chest under here. Let's just do this. I'll show you. There's a chest under here with 4 or 5 minium stones in it. I can't remember how many I put in there to make sure I would never really need another one, because it's going to use this to craft it. And so all I have to do is tell this thing to supply me with iron ingots, and it can act just like a chest. So I'm going to lay this cabling right here, and now I'm going to tell this thing, I need you to supply me with 64 iron ingots. So the 64 iron ingots sit in this interface like as if it were an inventory. In fact, we probably could put that right here, couldn't we? Well, it's export, so I don't think it does importing. I don't know. For now, we'll just keep with the system that I did. So I can put those away. I can also put these away. Cool. Okay. So I've got that thing set up to keep this thing supplied with 64 iron ingots, which will actually, the auto crafting cable can actually pull from. Now it's also got the minium stone on the bottom there, so now it's pretty easy just to set up the regular feedback system here to say, we're gonna say, let's see, let's put pipe wire in. First, let's hook up the emitter and this other system. Let's see, the emitter and the importer, right? Import bus. I'm gonna put the import bus here. Ooh, actually, yeah, I don't need this, do I? That's cool. Let's go pick that up. So I don't need that piece, and I can put the importer, or the emitter, right there. So I'm going to turn the emitter first. Let's get this thing all set up. We're going to make this thing, let's see, let's get a pearl, ender pearl. We're going to keep a stack of ender pearls in the system at all times. This is the only way I can think of to actually have it craft items and pre-craft them into the system to always keep it supplied. So 64, we're going to have it emit when the levels are below. They are below right now. This is going to import pearls, and it's going to import in stacks and only be active with signal. So it has a signal now. So this is going to say, let's see, inventory empty. Let's see, inventory empty. Where are you? Inventory empty, pipe signal. So it's saying, look, the system has pulled all the pearls out and it needs more. So I'm going to give off a red pipe signal. This is going to say, okay, then if you do that, I'm going to pulse. So it's going to create a bunch of ender pearls here, and the system's going to start sucking them in immediately because it needs a stack, right? So you can see it's pulling stacks out at a time until it has enough. So let's do this, and then you'll see that light go off, and it'll stop pulling. So it's also resupplying iron ingots to the interface as it's actually using them. So it's saying, okay, no, I don't have a stack yet. I don't have a stack yet. And this video is going to go a little bit long, but that's fine. We only have about 6 minutes left, and I have 2 more systems I want to craft. But that's the way it is. I kind of wanted to do this until it had a stack. It's going to take longer than I thought. So it's going to keep going. It does say a stack, right? Yes, 1 stack. So part of the issue is it's saying once it gets something in, it turns it off, so it's not coming in like as a solid stream. It's just feeding it one at a time. Let's go look at how many it does have and probably feed another one back into it. So we want pearl, right? So it's got 60. Okay, it's almost done. It's almost done. It's almost done. Oh, it says, okay, I have 64. Don't make any more. So it's not pulling anymore, or don't pull any more into the system. We have plenty. So now that this thing has some in it, it stops. So I don't just endlessly make pearls. I make them as needed. And this thing always keeps 64 iron. So that's a perfect system right there. And I need to change this thing to say it also creates pearls. So let's change the sign here, obsidian and pearls. So we'll say obsidian, ender pearls. There we go. So now that system makes 2 things. So the next thing I want to do, I'm actually going to need 2 magma crucibles for this next piece. Let's see how many I have. I might have none. Oh, I have 1. Okay, so we're going to need 1 more of those guys. So let's get 1 magma crucible. Let's get 1 of those. That is so cool. It's done. That's so awesome. Okay, so we're going to need that and 2 liquid transposers. Actually, we're going to have enough space for this? Technically, we could put them right next to each other. I like to separate stuff, though, because it's kind of a system unto itself. So let's do that. So they're separated. There's going to be a liquid transposer here. Basically, what we're going to do is use this system to fill up, like to make us those redstone or energy cells and stuff, right? So we're going to also need liquid transposers. Let's see how many we have. Would be cool. Oh, we have. That's cool. We already have 2 of those each. So let's go over here quickly, please. We're running out of time. This one is going to be the conduit one, because we have to fill conduits with redstone, right? So we're going to say turn that sucker off. We're going to input into the top and export from the side. That's perfect, actually. Okay, so we need to hook these things up to power. Actually, all of them need power. So this is going to have to go down one, like so. Let's see. Where's the power? There's the power line. Okay, so hook these suckers up with power first. I love these, dude. It's going to be kind of hard to get rid. Even though I'm saying like I'm kind of bored and this season's just about over, I am going to miss all this awesome stuff that I have, you know. It's going to be hard to get rid of it because, I don't know, you put all this time and effort into these projects, and it's hard to just watch them disappear with nothing, seemingly nothing to show for it, right? So these suckers are filled as expected. We're going to input from the top here, and we're going to export out the top. So remember, when you use an exporter or importer, you need that open space like that. So we're going to have the same thing here. So I like that this is the same setup. There's one's going to do, ooh, that's unfortunate. One's going to do liquid ender pearl, and the other one's going to do liquid redstone, so that should be pretty easy. Let's hook up some exporters here, and then we're also going to need importers, aren't we? Let's see, exporter. Oh, okay, I don't have any. Let's craft 2 of those. And they're crafted. And we're going to need importers. Actually, we're going to need interfaces, because we're going to give it something to craft. So we're going to need 2 of these, right? Good. Okay, so we have the ME pieces we need. Fairly positive. We're going to get this thing started exporting redstone and ender pearls here. So it'll just keep doing it until they fill up. So let's do this. We don't need any emitters or anything, because we're going to say when these craft, right? These are just crafting things. So I'm going to have to tell it I want a certain amount of these. Don't just make them for no reason. So we're going to export. We should have got some of that stuff out of there, shouldn't we? So we're going to export redstone and pearls. So redstone, and it's going to basically do it until these things are full. They're going to be always full, which is kind of cool. So I tried to do this a different way on my test server, and it just didn't work. So that probably should have went on one time. It probably sucked in one more item. So we don't need that anymore. We don't need that. We just need these 2 things. So right away, it should start exporting and melting this stuff. So we're going to tell this one, I want you to do redstone, and we're going to do it in stacks and just always active. And there you go. It's melting it, and it's putting it into this liquid transposer. Perfect. Let's tell this thing, don't worry about redstone signals. Probably should have done that all around and forgot. This one is going to do ender pearls. So we'll put ender pearls in here, and we'll tell it stacks. So it just puts a whole stack in, and now this thing should be going crazy. It's pulling stuff in. It should be emitting. It must have 64. Okay, there it goes. It's saying, hey, I need more. So that's going to keep working, and that's why I set up that system before I set this up, because this thing's going to eat quite a bit of these. It's going to fill that tank up, and then it's going to fill this tank up. It's going to consume, I don't know, 34 or so of those, 32 to 34, something like that. So that's cool. Now we have liquid redstone anytime we need it, and liquid ender pearl at the same time. So now what we're going to do, I've already told this thing to craft the empty conduits. Oh, I thought I taught it that. Pretty sure I did. Conduits, right? Let's see. Oh, liquiducts. I thought I taught it conduits. Apparently I didn't. So conduits are really easy. They're just an electrum ingot, which we have, and that's why we also taught it how to craft that. This is just a long way around automating all this stuff I need for the power system. So we also need hardened glass, which our system knows how to craft. So we're good. It's set up on a feedback loop. We're getting kind of low on these patterns, and these patterns require glowstone. So it is what it is. We luckily have 2 lines of demonic bees now working for us. So that's going to help a little bit, and has helped a little bit. So that guy's done. That's easy to craft. Let's get this piece set up first, because it's going to be a little bit harder than the next piece. The next one is going to be, well, it won't really. Let's see. How do you make, let's check out cell. Let's see, cell, energy frame empty. So a diamond, hardened glass, and electrum ingots. Wow, that's hard to stomach, but I can do it. So we already have the glass. Come on, get out of there. We already have that. Let's get a diamond. That's something we should probably monitor. So let's do a monitoring before we set that up. We don't need to monitor chipsets anymore, right? Because it's when we're out of them, we'll just craft them. So let's do that. And that's interesting. Ah, no! Why did you do that? Oh, it's because they're not connected to the system anymore. I didn't connect the agapite because it was causing all kinds of issues. As you can see, I rerouted all those and set them up with emitters and importers so that they won't screw up the system. They won't dump a bunch of stuff there that shouldn't be there. So agapite, I guess we can watch it because, well, now it's not going to really help, but I don't care. It's not very necessary. Not needed a lot. Let's put those back. We also don't need those. Okay, so let's teach this thing how to make the empty cell here. Let's see, how much, yeah, we're over the time. We're a little bit over the time, but we're almost done. So we just have to teach these two recipes, because these can be done inside the system here, right? Ooh, this is going to be rough. This is going to be very difficult. I'm not sure how's this going to work? Oh, I think I know how this is going to work. So, oh, that's how this works. We need an energy cell. I think we can use any energy cell, but we'll see. So let's just get this one. That's fine. Right? I think you can use any kind. What we're going to say is, when I request an energy cell, that means, you know what, we got to go pull those now. Let's pull some empty conduits and stuff like that. So let's do conduit. We're going to need one of those. Let's craft one, because it should auto-craft them when we ask for it. So we also need a cell. Let's just craft one of those, because that costs a diamond, so we don't want to screw around too much with that. All right. So we're going to say, when I ask for a cell, I want you to give me, a frame is going to get you a cell, okay? Right? And we're going to encode that. Now, I haven't done this in a couple days, so hopefully this is correct. We're also going to say, because we have a conduit, we're going to say when we want a conduit, we want you to give me an empty conduit. We're going to teach it that too. Okay? We're going to teach it those norms. Now I can go put this back. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to tell those interfaces that when we suggest this stuff, give us something. So I think energy conduit, that's not... Okay, so this guy is the frame, is the cell, right? It's going to fill this empty cell. Oh, you know what? No. I don't think that's how it works. Hold on. Cell, I think this is a little bit backward. Right? Energy cell frame full. So when we want an energy cell frame full. So what I'm going to... Wait a minute. Oh, that goes in the redstone one. Good thing I checked that. And this recipe's wrong, by the way, anyway. So let's get this empty cell. We're going to need both. Let's get an empty cell and a full cell. We're going to have to craft one more. This is slightly expensive, but it's worth it. We're going to need these anyway, so who cares? So let's fill this thing with redstone. Right? This is going to be for tesseracts. I'm not going to be setting up those today. So it's filling. It is going to take a while. We just have to wait. There's nothing more we can do. But we can tell this thing to make, no, that's the cell. Yeah, there we go. When we want conduits, send us empty conduits. So let's see if that works. Let's put these conduits back, and we'll say conduit. Yeah, see, it's right here. Let's say we want 4 of those. So it should be trying to stick them in here. And actually, they should fit in, because they're... Is it doing it? It should dump those in here. Okay, so let me get that. Okay, there they are. Oh, it dumped them in the top. Okay, so I need to tell this thing input also works in the top. That's what screwed up. So when you have an interface, you have to tell it that stuff comes in the top. That's right. We just remembered that. We just found that out. We're going to need 2 interfaces here. That's okay. Let's make 2 more and just put them on the sides. It's fine. I don't really care too much. I don't want to put them on back. So 2 more interfaces, because these guys are going to pull whatever's left, right? We'll just put them right there. So let's make sure this guy's not, yeah, he's not. So we're going to say output out the side. Okay, same thing with this guy. The output is going to be in that direction. So these don't have to be set up with anything. They just have to exist. We're going to need that to hook that one up. Okay, so now when we request it, those should go right in there. Now, I don't think I can put this in there. It'd be really nice because I don't want them to be able to do anything. Nope. Alright. So let's go request some more. Let's put these back. We're going to say conduit. We're going to say craft me 4. Begin. Now it should dump those over there. They should be filling right now. They are. They're done? That was quick. See, that's why I wanted to do one of these big cells to kind of show you that they are in there. So conduit, see, there they are, 4. Cool. Now it knows how to make those. I'm now wondering if it can make. Does it know how to do that? Yeah, it does. Oh, that's so cool. That is so cool. Just taught that system because I'm a beast. Oh man, that's cool. I love when you can do all those complicated things, right? So when we say full frame, we want empty frame. Okay? We're going to encode that. We're going to re-encode this one. No. We want this. So, encode. There's one more step to this. Luckily, we have all the parts that we need. I think. So, we're going to tell this one. When you want energy cell frame full, then you give it an energy cell frame empty. It will fill up, and you return it through that interface, and you're good. So, let's do the final piece here. Is just the crafting. We just have to teach it this recipe, right? Because we're going to only ask it for an energy cell, not the full cell. We don't care about that. Conductance coil, we might have to teach it. I'm not sure if I have that. So let's get a couple more patterns. We have 37 glowstone. We're running out a little bit. Let's just pull 2. I'm not going to pull whole bunches anymore because I don't want to stress the system here. So we need to teach it a conductance coil, I think. Yep, we have reception and transmission. A conductance coil is just electrum, right, with redstone. So let's do that real quick. And this is really far over, but that's fine. I don't mind having extra long episodes every once in a while. So we'll teach it the conductance coil, and then we'll teach the rest. I think it goes like this. I could be mistaken. I probably am. I think it's just 1 in the middle, actually. Yeah, okay, let's do this. It's 1 in the middle, and like, no, not like that. Like this. There we go. You've been taught. Okay, cool. Now we have all the conductance, the coils and stuff. There we go. Okay, now we need to teach it actually how to make the cell. Once we do this, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to do the whole thing. So it just won't have power, and that's fine. Electrum, ingot, a full thing, a conductance coil, and lead. So lead we have in spades, right? And then we need a coil, but we have to make sure we craft the right one, the conductance. Boom, it's done. Now remember, every time it needs electrum, it's just going to craft it. So we never have to worry about that again. That is what's so sweet about this system, is I can just craft one item and it does all the precursors and all that stuff. So we'll tell it that. We're done, and now we can actually put that in here because it is actually part of the ME. No, that's not it. Oh, there it went. Let's put it down here. Okay, cool. Now I should be able to request some of those. Let's put these in here as well, so I don't have to recraft them and make more, take up more of my diamonds. So let's say cell. You'll see all of them. Make sure you pick this one. And it's done. It used what we had. So let's craft another one. So what it's doing is it used the empty frame and it put it in here. Now it's going to take a while because these actually take a long time to craft. And as you can see, now it's making more redstone, and actually I don't think it ever stopped because it never really filled that whole thing up. So now we should get another cell when it's finished. And let's make, we already have what, 1? We want 4 more, I think. So we already asked it for 1. Let's ask it for 2 more. And now it should be waiting on that. Yeah, you can see it's waiting to craft that. So we've already got 1 in there. It's going to craft 2 more with this system we just built over here. Maybe, what is it doing? Crafting? It should have already put the empty cells in there to create. Empty cells are easy to craft. Let's see. Okay, so we've got, oh, that's what it is. Let's see. No, it's saying I'm looking to craft that. Oop, that's too many. Huh. Enabled low. Interesting. Well, it doesn't really matter. So now what I'm going to do is just start filling these. Why not? Let's get them going here. Because we have excess energy in the system right now anyway. Nothing's being used, so it works out perfect. Okay, so are we not getting the other one? Oh, you know what? It probably doesn't have a spot. Let's go give it a space. We need to give those things places to sit. They should just sit in the they really should just sit in the extra area. I mean, there is an extra space. Oh, I don't have. Well, it's in here. That's fine. We didn't tell it where to put this stuff, but it's really interim. It shouldn't be sitting right here. We've already told it where to put that stuff. So I don't think it should really care. Maybe I can only ask for one of these at a time. It's probably what it is, because it can only put one in, and there's no way to put 2 or 3, I don't think. It's still not doing anything. When you want a full one, give me an empty one, right? That's strange. Didn't put it in here. Doesn't have anything in there anyway. Why are you not working? Huh. Am I out of something? Electrum ingot. Yeah, make those. Oh, is it? It's crafting them? Okay, now it's crafting. It just takes a while, apparently. And that's because we only have 4 CPUs. We're going to be remedying that eventually. Well, maybe not in this season, because I am starting some other stuff. But anyway, that's how you do that. Now I have everything I need. I have all the redstone cells. I can create Invar. I can create the magmatic engines. I can do all that with autocrafting. And so I'm going to be doing that. Let's craft one more of these. It just takes time to do. Got confused or something. And then next episode we'll be able to create, we'll be ready to create to expand this power system. Because I'm sure the ME system's getting greedy, and it's only going to get more and more greedy, so it is what it is. Anyway, let me know what you think about this episode. Pretty awesome, I think. Really pretty advanced, pushing ME to the limits here, I think, with autocrafting. But pretty advanced and awesome stuff. And actually, I need to cut this down because now this makes hardened glass and a couple other things too. Let's see. Hardened glass, and it also makes conduits. Energy cell. That's one way to spell it. I might need another sign up here because it's going to craft a lot more stuff than that. Anyway, let me know what you think. This episode went a little long, and as always, stay frosty, guys.